Hey guys, this is Jared Haw, President of ePower Corp. This presentation, how to audit your supplier. So since you guys are all hardware startups, you're going to have to find a contract manufacturer that is going to make your product. This is going to be a very important decision that you guys make. So make sure that you take it very seriously. There are a few things here that you guys could look at that's going to help you to understand who you should be proceeding with. These are going to be who they are, their operations, their experience, their team and structure, quality, and their development services. So first, for who they are. You guys are going to have to do some research about who these people are. You also going to want to understand what kind of products do they work with, or what kind of companies do they work with. Do they work with startups, or do they work with SMEs? For an example, if they work with SMEs, they might not be a great fit for you because they might not understand how to get you from development to production as economically and efficient as possible. Also, what kind of ownership do they have? And remember, like anything else, first impressions do matter. For their operations, make sure you understand their quality control. So their IQC, PQC, FQC, this is incoming quality control. All of the raw material and parts that they get from their suppliers coming into the factory. How do they check them? For the PQC, this is in-process control. How do they check the parts that they are currently making? And also FQC is final quality control. This is looking at the quality of the overall product once it is finally assembled. Warehouse management system. What kind of things do they have in place just to make sure that it's not going to be too hot, there's not going to be too much humidity in the air that could destroy some electronic products. Also, what kind of testing equipment that do they have? You guys might be developing something pretty new, so they might not have the perfect testing equipment for you, but are they able to make new ones? Can they develop it and help you guys to make these testing equipment that will be very, very crucial for you going forward? Also, what kind of rejected parts analysis do they have? What kind of process do they have? A lot of factories might just say, well, this is your brand, this is your product. How about you just come here and fix it? That's not really the answer that you guys are looking for. You're going to have to figure out how do they find out the root cause of the problem. Also, what kind of factory equipment do they have? For an example, if you guys have one simple plastic part that you need to make and that's it, probably not the best idea to find an electronic supplier or a metal supplier as well. Also, certifications. If you guys are a medical device, you will need ISO 13485. However, if the supplier you're talking to does not have that certification, they cannot make this product for you. So you have to find someone else. Also, what kind of experience do they have? So again, do they work with startups, SMEs, and Fortune 500 companies? You guys do not want to be their biggest and probably not their smallest as well. If you will be their biggest, they might have some issues placing a PO for you because they still have to place orders for the raw materials. So if you are their biggest client, they might not be able to fund this order. Also, if you are the smallest, they might not necessarily care about you as much as some of their other products. Also, what kind of industries are they in? So, for example, if you guys have a robotic company, it might not be the best choice to find a supplier that is making phone cases. Probably not going to be the best case. Maybe they'll be okay for a subcomponent that just does plastics, but probably not for final assembly. Lastly, is the supplier you're working with set up for long production runs or short production runs? A lot of CMs, they only want to work with large production runs because then they don't have to train workers. However, since you guys are a hardware startup, you will only be able to make a certain amount of products, and you're going to have to make sure that your CM agrees to this and they are willing to work with you on this. Also, what is their team and structure? Who's going to be your point of contact? Also, will you be getting their A or their C team? So for some of these larger CMs, you won't be able to get their A team. Maybe you'll get their C team or their D team. These are probably going to be new graduates, and they're going to be making a lot of mistakes on the job. They might be a little slow. And if you guys are a startup doing this for the first time, do you really want to be working with a contract manufacturer that has a team on this that is doing it for the first time as well? Probably not. Then you'll start to see whether or not they actually do care about you. Also, what kind of team do they have? So if you guys need a lot of electrical engineers on this product, but the factory you're working with only has mechanical engineers, they might not be the best fit for you. Also, their quality. So you guys all have some sort of complex product. There's going to be a lot of moving parts, both for mechanical and electrical. There will be quality issues. However, the CM that you guys will work with is going to have to figure out how to eliminate these quality problems. So you're going to have them walk you through some of the quality issues that they've had before in the past and how do they solve them. You're going to want to see some of their quality reports as well. Also figure out how they deal with failures. Also, what kind of standard inspection procedures do they have? So this is going to be, how do they audit parts? How do they check the quality of each product that comes into their facility that is being processed there and also that is being shipped out? Lastly is their development services. Speed to market is very, very crucial for hardware startups. So you're going to have to understand what kind of development process they have in-house. So do they have engineers? Can they make prototypes? Can they do testing? And can they also make tooling? Also ask questions about their DFM. Can they provide you with DFM? That is designed for manufacturing. This is understanding how to get the idea from the prototype to production as efficiently, as economically as possible. So usually here we're going to have to change design. We're going to have to look at changing the materials and the processes to reach the best price, and also so it's assembled as efficiently as possible. Then once you guys have a good understanding of this, you might want to go there and actually audit them. This will be also very important. So if you audit them, you're going to have to look at their manufacturing, their facility, their quality, their engineering and technical support, their shop floor management, and also their speed. In another video, I'll probably go into this in more detail. Other things to look for as well that will be very important is how clean the factory is and the worker satisfaction. If the workers are not happy, there's probably going to be a high turnover rate, which means the factories always don't have to be finding new people. That means new people are going to be on your job, and that's probably not something that you want as a hardware startup. All right, guys, that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Thanks.